If love is supposed to feel safe, why does this one feel so addictive? Why do you find yourself missing them the most right after they've hurt you? And why does the thought of leaving feel so much harder than staying in the pain? This isn't weakness, and it isn't love. This is a trauma bond. And once you understand what that means, your entire history with relationships might finally start to make sense. A trauma bond is a powerful emotional attachment that forms through a destructive cycle of pain and relief. It's a pattern you might know all too well. Someone hurts you deeply. Then comes the apology, full of promises. Then they shower you with affection, a tactic known as love bombing. And just when you start to feel secure again, the cycle repeats. Slowly, without you even realizing it. Your nervous system starts to learn something incredibly dangerous. Pain means love is coming. This intense bond doesn't form because the relationship is good or healthy. It forms because it is relentlessly unpredictable. Your brain becomes addicted not to the person themselves, but to the roller coaster of emotional highs and lows they orchestrate. That's the reason why a calm, stable relationship might feel boring to you, while a chaotic one feels electrifying and intense. And in this confusion, you begin to mistake that intensity for genuine intimacy. Trauma bonds rarely begin with overt chaos. They usually start with a subtlety that feels magical. In the beginning, they make you feel as though you are the only person in the world. You feel chosen, seen, special. They mirror your dreams and your fears, creating an illusion of a soulmate connection. Then, slowly, almost imperceptibly, the rules of the game begin to change. Affection, which was once freely given, becomes conditional. Love transforms into something you feel you have to constantly earn. Their silence becomes a form of punishment, leaving you in a state of anxious confusion. And every single time they pull away, your body spirals into a state of panic. Your heart starts to race. Your thoughts become a whirlwind of self-blame and doubt. You feel a desperate, overwhelming need to fix it, to do whatever it takes to win back their affection and restore the peace. And then relief. A text finally comes through. They apologize, sounding sincere. They are loving and warm again, just like they were at the beginning. In that moment of reconciliation, your brain releases a flood of powerful chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin. This is the exact same reward cycle that is found in a gambling addiction. It is the uncertainty not knowing when or if the reward will come that makes you crave it more desperately. You might be in a trauma bond if you recognize these signs in yourself. You find yourself constantly justifying their hurtful behavior to yourself and to others. You consistently blame yourself for their mistreatment, believing you did something to deserve it. You feel a strange sense of anxiety or even boredom when things are too calm in the relationship. You crave their approval more than you crave your own inner peace. And you find yourself in a painful cycle of leaving only to go back again and again. But perhaps the most telling sign of all is this: you don't actually miss the person they are right now. You miss the person they were at the very beginning. You are chasing a ghost, a version of them that likely only existed to get you hooked. Your nervous system doesn't operate on logic. It operates on familiarity. If you grew up in an environment where there was emotional inconsistency, where love was often mixed with fear, and attention was tangled with neglect, your body learned a damaging lesson. Love is supposed to feel unsafe. So, when a kind and stable person enters your life, your system doesn't register it as love. It feels boring, unfamiliar. But when someone triggers that old, familiar anxiety, your system feels alive. It feels like home. This is precisely why trauma bonds feel so impossible to break. You are not just attached to a person. You are fundamentally attached to a pattern that has been wired into your nervous system since your earliest years. Breaking a trauma bond doesn't start with the act of leaving. It can't. The bond is too strong for that to be the first step. It starts with the quiet, internal work of detaching emotionally. Here is how you begin. First, you must name the pattern. Awareness is the first step, as it weakens the bond's invisible hold on you. Next, stop romanticizing the beginning of the relationship. That initial intensity was not a sign of a soulmate. It was a tactic. Real, lasting love is built on consistency, not just chemistry. Then, you must learn to regulate your own nervous system. When you detach, calm will feel uncomfortable at first. It will feel like something is wrong. That discomfort is the feeling of healing. Understand that implementing no contact isn't about punishing them, it is a detox for you. Creating distance is the only way to break the addiction loop that keeps you coming back for more. Ultimately, you have to consciously choose peace over intensity. You have to believe, deep down, that love should not feel like a constant struggle for survival. You cannot heal by endlessly trying to prove your worth to someone who benefits from you doubting it. Here is the truth that most people in this situation never get to hear. You don't truly miss them. You miss who you were when you believed that this time love would finally stay. You miss the hope you had at the beginning. Real love doesn't keep you in a state of constant anxiety. It doesn't make you chase affection. It doesn't hurt just to exist in. If this video made you feel uncomfortable, it's probably because it told you the truth you needed to hear.